Today, the Permian Basin in West Texas and New Mexico is the major driver for drilling and completion activity in the United States. After nearly a century of production, this prolific basin is today helping the U.S. become a swing producer in the global oil market. It's taken new technology and techniques to revitalize this mature oil field into a robust new play. To discuss what's keeping the Permian vibrant, we have with us today the heads of regional drilling and completion for two of the largest producers in the Permian. Hi, I'm Mike Killalea, and welcome to this webcast called Drilling and Completion in the Permian Basin Today. I am pleased to welcome Rodney D. Littleton, Vice President of Permian Drilling for Pioneer Natural Resources, and John Willis, Drilling and Completions Manager for Occidental Oil and Gas Corporation Permian Resources New Mexico Business Unit. John, Rodney, thanks a lot for taking the time to share your experience and thoughts with us today. First, I'd just like to kind of set the stage and ask you, what are your company's overall goals and ambitions in the Permian? Rodney, you want to go ahead and start?
Pioneer as a company has decided in the last year that we want to reach 1 million barrels a day production within the next 10 years. So based on that, we're planning a growth profile, adding rigs, adding frac fleets over the next 10 years to help us achieve that goal.
It's an ambitious goal. John,
Very much.
what about Oxy?
The Permian is the primary area for Occidental in the United States. We've divested all of the other areas that we operated in the United States to focus entirely on our very large position in the Permian.
Okay. And what are some of the drilling and completion challenges that you all see in working in the Permian? John?
The biggest problem we face today is safety. We have a lot of new people in the industry with the increase in activity in the Permian, and that's caused a dramatic increase in the number of, today, still relatively minor incidents, but we're very concerned about that, and we want to have a lot of focus in the industry to improve that safety performance. Other than that, the drilling in the Permian is a difficult area. It's hard rock, so the bit vibrations are very damaging to the tools and the downhole equipment. We have a lot of failures of downhole motors, downhole tool failures, particularly in the smaller hole sizes, like 6 3/4 inch. And then it's just become very technically complex, so that we have to do a lot more engineering to successfully drill the wells in the Permian than we traditionally had to do.
I guess in that hard rock, the smaller tool sizes are much more vulnerable just by virtue of it being small.
Yes, the small tools have a problem in the laterals, just with reliability. And then in the vertical section of the hole, even the bigger tools have problems with reliability because of the vibrations can be very severe.
Always been a difficult area. Rodney, what would you care to share with us?
We see many of the same things that John mentioned, safety being a big one. You know, the new service employees, the short-timers, they're the ones we're worried about the most. And beyond that, tool reliability, the smaller hole tools have not really been set up for West Texas as of yet. I mean, I think it's coming. You're seeing companies begin to get on board, but we suffered some of the same things when we were drilling 8 3/4, 8 1/2 early on. A lot of tool failures. They've worked through those. That seems to be fairly robust now compared to the smaller tools. I think we'll get there, but it's just going to take a while. Not a lot of resources have been put into it until now. So those are two of the things we see. Water usage is always a big issue. So we're trying to focus on getting away from fresh water as much as possible. So those are some of the challenges we see.
Okay, and how about some of the technical innovations that y'all are bringing to bear on?
We have our own internal frac company, so we're working a lot with them on fluids to use so we can frac with produced water, brackish water. We've got a deal with the city of Odessa where we buy effluent water from them to blend with our reused water. So the frac chemicals have come a long way, allowing us to not have to use fresh water. Other technology, things that we've done, we've developed our well pads are now going to what we call a super pad, which is mainly we put the well heads and trees below grade, so we don't have to shut the wells in if we come back and drill additional wells from the same pad. Believe it or not, we're beginning to run out of surface area even in the Permian. You're just limited to how much area you can use because there's pipelines and barns and houses and roads and all kinds of stuff everywhere. So those are some of the things we've been doing.
Okay. John, how about on your side?
We've had several programs. One that we've had for a couple of years now is our Oxy Drilling Dynamics program that's focused on the design of the bottom hole assemblies and the selection of the bits and the management of the parameters we use while we're drilling to minimize the vibrations and extend the life. And that's been very successful and it's been a big factor in improving our performance. We also have a lot of work going on with data analytics now. One of the projects that we're working on is a real-time data analytics procedure that will calculate the inclination at the bit while we're drilling in a curve or lateral where our survey instrument is 30 to 60 feet above the bit. This gives us a little better ability to manage the drilling on these, building the curve and drilling the laterals. We've also got a multilateral technology that we've been in the beginning phases of using. We've installed one well completely with the multilateral, and we're equipping many of the wells that we drill today to be able to go back and do a multilateral. And then on the fracturing side, we're building a logistics facility in New Mexico that will allow us to bring in sand by train loads at our own facility and minimize the amount of trucking, which is one of the big advantages for us, is to reduce the trucking on the roads in New Mexico. We've also done a lot on frack water. We're down to about 5% of our frack water is fresh water today, and the rest of it is brackish or recycled produced water that we treat and make capable of using in the frack operation.
So that's real important too, is to be able to minimize usage of fresh water in the fracking operation, right? From an environmental and just a general water usage standpoint, right? Yeah.
It's very important in the Permian Basin.
Yeah. Okay, well, can you share some of your company's plans the rest of this year and into 2018 with us in the Permian without divulging any top secret material?
So we plan to continue with 11 rigs in the Permian Basin. We have 5 in New Mexico, 4 in the Delaware Basin, 4 in the Delaware Basin in Texas, and 2 in the Midland Basin. And we'll continue with that, and then in 2018 we expect to have something between 8 and 13 rigs running next year.
Okay. Rodney, how about over on Pioneer's side?
For Pioneer, we're currently running 18 rigs and 7 frac fleets. We'll keep that level of activity for the remainder of 17, and then going into 18, probably midway to the beginning of the third quarter, we plan to pick up 4 more rigs, so that'll put us at 22, and possibly pick up another frac fleet in that time period. So pretty much status quo for the rest of this year and the biggest part of next year.
Okay, great. Finally, how about, could I ask you for some guidance for our service sector friends? How can service companies, manufacturers, drilling contractors help you drill more efficiently and safely? What are they getting right? Where maybe are they missing the mark? Any advice would be welcome.
So like we mentioned before, safety is a primary concern. So as a group, we need to take better care of the short service employees. We got to keep an eye out for each other because they seem to be the ones that get injured the most often just because they don't know any better. Other things are the QA/QC of equipment. We see issues of things not being done probably quite as well as they need to be done, stuff that's being shipped out to location. And then third, automation. Anything we can do to get people off the rig floor, away from the frac fleets, automation we see going forward is going to be a key for the future.
Okay. John, what do you think?
Totally agree with the things that Rodney mentioned. Safety is a big concern. It just needs a lot more attention today. With the very high level of activity, the safety issues are really the main concern that we have, not only on the rig, but also on the roads because of the truck traffic driving around in the Permian Basin. Everybody needs to have a lot more focus on a very high level of professionalism in everything they do. The QA/QC is a really important issue. The demands on the equipment drilling in the Permian Basin are not like we've had historically on land operations. This is a really complex, very demanding place that we drill and really needs the highest level of technology. And I don't think the industry has quite got to that level across the board, although we're seeing a lot of great things with the advanced technology rigs. We're using a lot more advanced technology downhole, but I think that we just need to push that farther in the Permian. And I also think that there's a lot to do with the automation and the data analysis, that using the digital data can really help us in managing the up and down swings in the rig count in this area.
Okay. Well, Rodney, John, thanks so much for taking the time today and presenting these good ideas and information. I know our viewers are going to really get a lot out of that. And I was going to say I have a small token of our esteem for you, but it's actually, I can barely lift it, kind of a large token, which is our 2-volume IDC drilling manual, 12th edition. So here's one for you, Rodney, and I know you're going up to Dallas today, so you don't have to carry that in your backpack if you don't want to. We'll ship it to you. And John, here's one for you. Thank you. 1,200 pages, and I hope you get some use out of it. So thanks again to John and Rodney, and thanks to you all for tuning in. I hope you gained some good takeaways today. Don't forget the IDC Shale Energy Workshop on September 13th in Midland. John's going to be attending that and speaking. There's a link on the web page and on this screen. Meanwhile, keep it safe, keep turning to the right. We'll see you next time. Bye.